Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah Allah Ta'ala. Everybody in the best state of iman, focused on their deen, and trying to grow Islamically. So what I'm about to talk about now is more specifically to the individuals in this surrounding area. So the brothers kind of got together and got access to a building and started a little masjid. The beginning process, I was involved in the beginning of the process, and I want to remind the brothers, I gave the first khutbah there, right? And during that khutbah, I said to the brothers that what's about to be, we're about to experience the weight of this. I'm rewording it a little different right now, but now we could this process is going to allow you to see what other people, generations before us, went through. Which before us, the original generation that started masjids here was the World Deen community. And individuals who coming together and collectively trying to do what they can. So the thing that we don't want to do is make the same mistakes that they've made. You see what I'm saying? See, the Quran, Allah tells us in the Quran that Allah will send another group of people to check another group of people. Allah will replace you if you don't worship Allah, if you don't do things a certain type of way. Allah will replace you with another group of people. They didn't take care of the Islamic aspect, and they lost it to another group of people. These people took care of their business outside of the deen, as far as getting educated, secular education as they call it in the Islamic world, because Islamic education is first. So secular Islamic education, as far as becoming doctors, becoming engineers, pulling their resources together and opening up corner stores. So they took care of their business on the aspect of making sure they had finances, a massive amount of finances outside of, basically to the point where they don't need anybody, and nobody can tell them what to do, and nobody can come take what they took from anybody else. They just didn't handle the Islamic aspect of it. So now they're starting to lose. They're starting to lose it. You understand? It's starting to slowly get back into the hands of, and this not just here. The urban Muslim, the inner city Muslim, right? They're starting to actually want more. They feel outed, but, and not to keep talking about this, and this is kind of where the clash and the conflict comes in with me. This masjid was a very specific They didn't hide the fact, although they took this masjid from some African Americans who put in work, they just didn't educate themselves properly. Allah took it away from them. Now, there's another group in that's not educated properly, but they have finances to where it can't be taken from them. So the people are leaving. So the conflict comes in with me because I'm verbal. This masjid, the administration, they made it clear. They hid it until the Arabs and the Pakistanis started to fight. And they made it clear and said to us specifically, they was trying to go get another building out in the suburbs for the main purpose, the only reason they was doing it, because they didn't want any African Americans, period, to be able to come to their masjid. Period. They didn't want you praying in. They didn't care about you 5 daily salats. They didn't care about the reward that you could get for Jumar. They didn't care about you coming for Taraweeh prayer. They didn't care. They didn't want no African Americans in their masjid, period. And we was at a big meeting. I was there. It came out because they had 5 doctors and they had some engineers, people with money, and they all collectively voted. The whole community had took a vote on this. The whole community. Their families, they had meetings and conversations behind closed doors, and all of them voted. The men, the women, and the children to go get another building because they wasn't going. Only people who was going to know where it was at was them. They wanted absolutely no African Americans. They didn't even want you in the parking lot. But because 2 doctors, an Arab and a Pakistani doctor, got into it over money issues and different things, it caused a split between them. And then the other one felt bad, so he wanted to bring it out in the meeting. And they called the police on him before he got to exposing all the names of the main people who had the meeting. So that because they called the police on him and the police came in the masjid and removed him for trespassing, they couldn't arrest him wholeheartedly because he was on the paperwork of the building. He had put up a bulk of money, and he was not only on the board as a board member, he's on the paperwork of the 501c. So they couldn't arrest him. But they did. The police, they was like, so just to calm it down, because fights was about to break out. So they just asked him, could you leave? But by him being a doctor, they had to put his name in the local paper and everything because of this. So he wanted to sue the other ones. But because they did that, he went and got the old building and it split the masjid. And he said, because of what they was trying to do, he's going to have the masjid with us. Now, I will admit, we messed that up. We all had keys. We all had unlimited access. They was going to redo everything in the whole entire building. New carpet, new roof, all on their dime. We could do whatever we wanted there. But, of course, with us, particular African American brothers wanted to stop everything that they was trying to do, which I won't go into that. So, the point I'm getting to is, new people who accepting Islam coming in and they're going to that building and they could feel that they being mistreated. The conflict with me is because I tell people the truth. Them people don't want you there. They don't want none of us there. Don't even go to that masjid. This is a masjid that stole the whole entire building from another African American group and then slowly tricked them off the board voted them off, and never let them get back in control ever again. And then they voted to move the building, and then wouldn't even let these people have their building back because they was African American, because they didn't respect their dean. This is built on corruption to me. And then make another conscious decision after y'all took these people building. Now y'all finna go get a whole nother building somewhere off in the suburbs, and everybody voted on it so that no African Americans can come there. But because when they split, everybody went with the Arabs. So they started to pull little tactics to get the African Americans back. They couldn't even have school and all type of different things when everybody left. So they pulled a little underhanded tactics. They actually gave a few people, some African Americans, some money. You know, we always sell each other out. They actually gave a couple of African Americans some money, helped some of them have some car trouble, helped them get their car fixed with the guys of go over to that masjid and start to convince the African Americans to come back. Some of them didn't want to come with us because the issues they had with some of the brothers didn't like them. They didn't mistreat them. They wasn't going to put hands on them. But, so they wanted to stay with them. But you at this meeting, you know they don't want you there. Instead of coming with us and building with us, everything finna get redone. They can give you a few dollars, help get your car fixed for you to go convince, be conniving to get the African Americans to come back over there. Which their building was cleaner. You know, this was a building they was finna redo everything. So the conflict comes in with me because I'm gonna warn people, don't go up there. As I should. They not gonna teach you Islam. They got an innovative way of doing Jumu'ah. There's a whole lot of teachings that's mixed with some Sufism. You know, like they teach Allah's in everything. Allah's in the flowers. You know, I won't go too detailed, but you get what I'm saying. So you're not gonna get nothing from them anyway, other than a good feeling of, hey, I went to Jumu'ah. Hey, we ate some dinner. We ate some lamb for Ramadan, and we did Tarawih. So that's what me and the group started to fall out. If we trying to start our own thing and we doing our own thing, why wouldn't we convince people to come here? But see, certain people had hidden agendas because they get money from them up there. They get money from them up there. So they're going to cause conflict. They're going to cause turmoil because they underhanded. See? So this is why I want to advise the people, man, because I've been talking to a few brothers. So I talked to a couple of brothers in the community, and this is what I just want to advise the brothers on, just like what I said the first khutbah that I gave there. You know, don't become the same thing. Get your education in, man. Once you decide to open the masjid, the weight of the ummah falls on your back. Right? You have to be a service to the Muslims. You understand? You have to educate yourself, and I said this in the khutbah, and I want to reiterate it. Educate yourself so that you can educate the people. Don't sit around and say these people need these classes. We want to come on y'all up here, and you need to take these classes, and we need to educate y'all, but you won't take the classes yourself, and you in leadership. This is what you just came from. This is why it's falling apart. You see what I'm saying? They don't have enough in them to not be blatant racist. You understand? And then they know that they view us so wimpy, man. They put it in our face. But I was always the verbal individual. But, you know, I'm accused of trying to split the ranks. I ain't got to put up with that. But And I have more than what they have. You see what I'm saying? So I still rock with a very small chosen few, and we do our own thing. But I always been doing my own thing since like 2003. Over 20 years. So I wanna put that reminder on them, man. And I talked to one of the brothers who frequent there, and I want to put this out there because I talked to him, and I'm putting this out there because I don't have communication with everybody, but a lot of them watch these videos. So like what I told to him was today, because not from him, I'm hearing different things. He's new to the environment, so he doesn't know everything, but I know why certain people aren't attending. And some people making excuses and they griping, oh, well, it's the building, this, that, and the third, right? Now y'all don't like certain people who's promoting themselves as leaders. Y'all never liked them. Y'all wasn't getting along when this started, but they saying little stuff, oh, the building, this, that. And I just want to tell them to get that out of their heart, because 90% of y'all went to Jumar in prison. And it was perfectly fine. You understand? So all that, oh, well, I don't really agree with this. You went to Jumar in prison. Some of y'all went to Jumar in the chapels that they had set up with Christianity. Like one of the brothers told me, they had paintings of butt-naked babies' private parts showing with wings on them, cloaked as angels. But they really just butt-naked babies with their private parts showing. Y'all had Jumar service in rooms like that. You see what I'm saying? Quit putting out these excuses and then promoting other things to other people because you don't want them to come, because y'all don't particularly care for the people that's promoting themselves as the ones that's in charge. But I understand it, because I know the same things that y'all know. But it's still better than, what about these individuals who don't even want you around because of the color of your skin? And they pray in the wrong direction. They don't even pray the right direction. And for the individuals who know that and keep promoting that because they get a few dollars because they take people up there from them, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You need to be ashamed of yourself. You're selling out your own people Islamically. So what I want to say is, these brothers, they pray in the right direction. They trying to do what they can. Is there a little bit of underhandedness going on? Absolutely. Absolutely. But these things can be corrected. So get together, put your hands together. Like I told one of the brothers today, we basically 6 months and about a week away from Ramadan. Put y'all heads together and come up with something so that y'all can have something going on during Ramadan, for Taraweeh, for some dinners, for the Eid, and a real education program. Because just like with the Quran ayat that I'm saying, where Allah is referring to the Muslims who advising the people, but they not practicing them themselves. You can't sit up and say we're going to build this community and then we're going to have these classes that nobody takes. Y'all ain't took them, not interested in taking them, but you're going to sit up and wing it to some other people. You're going to fall into the category of advising and pushing something on some people that you won't practice yourself. Get in front of some people and try to teach a class that you probably would fail if you sit in front of a real teacher and take it. You understand? This is something that you want to be careful, because Allah is watching. Y'all got 6 months, man, before Ramadan comes in to start preparing. Because you're inheriting the weight of the people. And don't be delusional and with all these hopes and dreams, man, because Shaitan incite people with false desires. Don't get delusional of this big, huge, grand building and have an ugly community. Focus on having a beautiful community first and then go to the building. When you look at the ways of the Rasul Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Salaf and the people that was around him, you probably wouldn't even go to their masjid. There was no pretty carpet. It rained inside. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even have a roof at one point. But they had a beautiful, strong Islamic community. And due to the community that they had, it spread all the way to here, to where we Muslim now. To where we Muslim now. You understand? And it's time, man, to start planning, man. Put together a 2-year plan. And see, by me, I'm really not saying nothing new. I really was speaking on some of this last year. Well, not last year, but when Ramadan started. Right? The first Jumu'ah was a week before Ramadan. The first Friday before Ramadan started. Right? Get ready to carry the weight of the people, man. Get ready to carry the weight of the Ummah. You can't have this dream and this fantasy of all these African Americans and us coming together just to still be ignorant. Because that's going to fall under the leadership, man. That's going to fall under the leadership. You can't just continue to say, hey, we just going to make it up as we go. As long as y'all follow us, we'll be straight. See, I think so far ahead, I'm sitting down saying, y'all need to sit down and come up with a 2-year plan for growth. A 2-year plan for growth. You understand? Then you're going to start to see who's serious and who's not. You understand? You want to establish Islam, man. That's what a masjid does. Not just come up with a building where they can hide behind 5013Cs and put their cell phone payrolls, right? Have a little Jumar service, go on the internet and Google up something to read to the people and all these type of stuff. And then talk to people about how they need to get in classes and how they need to learn. But as a leader, you're not doing the same thing. Allah is paying attention to this. And this is something I got for my cook bar this for Friday, but I'm going to share it today, man. See, Shaitan listen to our du'as. You understand? Shaitan hear your du'as, man. Right? So you make a du'a to Allah. It may be a situation you making du'a for that you're not ready for. So you might have to go through the process of getting prepared so that Allah can answer that du'a. So if you're not really ready and prepared and you got to go through the process of Allah preparing you for this du'a that you asked for, guess who's going to show up? Shaitan. See, this is something, man, that y'all need to understand. Shaitan take care of his people too. Shaitan take care of his people too. This is why you see so many people, so many Muslims up on corruption. See, Allah may put you in a position to be a leader of a community and give you the access to it, right? But you're not ready for it. Because you're not going to prepare yourself. You're not going to educate yourself to educate the people. But it's a way you can make $1 or $2. You got different things going on. And you know that the community doesn't know enough to know that you don't know what you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? Shaitan can elevate that process for you because he know you might be the one that's not going to get these people to the point where Allah Azza wa Jal, you're going to be his personal roadblock. You understand? Let me word it this way. A brother, a sister, they may make tahajjud, right? They may make istikhara. I want a spouse, brother. I want me a righteous sister, man, that's gonna study with me, gonna memorize Quran, right? I want her to be a good cook. I want her to be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I want us to be able to match emotionally, sexually. I want all of this. I want her to deen to be on point. I want her to wake up before Fajr, before me. You make dua for that. Sister, I want a brother that's this height, a good father, going to help me with all my boys and my kids, take my kids to the masjid, going to teach me to memorize Quran, right? Going to teach me the deen. You make dua for these things. I'm going to be able to stay at home, not have to work, and we going to be good. Now, brothers, you asking for a sister to do all this studying and to get up and do this and stuff for Fajr. But you don't study at all already. I want her to know all this Quran. You not memorizing Quran already. So now Allah might have to inspire you and move you in a position where you can get into position to handle the wife that you asking for. Now let me show you the point. So now you got to seek assistance through patience and prayer, like Quran al-Kareem tell us to do. But next thing you know, some female show up. She's lonely, you lonely, and she's the exact opposite of what you made dua for. But she might be a little cute. She might be a little shapely. You understand? She might wear hijab. She might not wear hijab. She might not even be Muslim. And then, boom, you marry her. And then because y'all might have a couple of good vibes and y'all had a good week or two, you convince yourself that Allah answered your du'as. Nah. Shaitan did that. That's not what you made dua for. It's the exact opposite. And now you're in a situation of turmoil. But there might be some type of attachment. Y'all might have glitz and glamours. Y'all might look like a power couple in the community. But in the house, it's a million things that Allah Azza wa Jal is displeased with. Outside of fronting and trying to put on for the people in the city, there's really, you really not even, y'all pleased with, it's like Facebook, it's like social media. Y'all pleased with people hitting the like button. But y'all not pleased with each other. Sister make dua for this type of brother. He gonna study, he gonna teach me. This brother ain't even in classes. This brother not even learning nothing. You gonna take my kids to the masjid? You know what I'm saying? Then he show up. He can't teach you nothing because he don't learn nothing. But see, Allah could have been moving you and inspiring you and positioning you to get yourself in a point to where you can receive the brother that you making dua for. You need to learn how to study and learn how to stay consistent with something, because once this brother, if you do get that brother and come in and he marry you off of them pretense, off you claiming to be that, and now you lackadaisical with your studies, he not going to be happy with you. But what end up happening, instead of you getting prepared for the individual you making dua for, with Allah aids and assistance, somebody shows up. You may think you could get a few things out of him. I could turn him into that. And then you're in the house in turmoil, fighting, cussing each other out, cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all would be surprised, man, at how many Muslim sisters that I know that had to ask other men for money while they married. You know what I'm saying? You got a husband in the house, and then you slipping around texting and conversating with other people that you done met on the internet, begging them for money. Why you married though? Because who showed up and answered that for you, man? Shaitan. And now y'all in a situation where instead of getting closer to Allah on this path, you're getting further away. Or some of these brothers, man, who come in as the Muslim man, and then the sister is getting them on their program. I know so many Muslim brothers, man, they on their wife program. You understand? They on their wife's program. You know, and I'm not knocking it, but I'm sitting down saying, Shaitan answers du'as too. The jinns and stuff whisper and maneuver people, and then next thing you know, y'all together. Oh yeah, y'all brothers got something brewing around here. I smell grant money. And now you got individuals showing up trying to figure out how they could get access to a couple of dollars, because people running around talking about, yeah, we getting 100,000, they giving me 200,000 a year. I'm writing myself down $65,000 a year salary, but be lying the whole time. But then can't figure out why you surrounded by snakes, getting bit. Yeah, man, Allah answering my du'as. But it's the exact opposite of everything of what Allah wants to be done. It's a lot of snakery and underhanded stuff, man. So I'm just saying that, man, as a reminder to the brothers, man. Go back to the drawing board. Purify your intentions. Purify your intentions. And quit wanting to look like the man and be it. Quit trying to look like the man and be it. And then Allah, once you get back in those good graces with Allah Azza wa Jal, man, then you can move on that format, man. You don't want, like I said in that khutbah, man, y'all, we don't want to become what we running from. We don't want to become what we running from. The first group, they had enough unity to get it together. You know what I'm saying? Because they learned that structure and that discipline from the Nation of Islam, transferred it over to the Warden community, and they got them buildings and them 501(c)(3)s, and was trying to instill it into the youth. Y'all gotta expand this. Y'all gotta bring the education into the building. They wasn't prepared for some individuals who was just like them to come steal it from. And then people wanted to be the man. They never really trained anybody else. If something happened to me, you can take this position. We don't know our out day. Just like right now. And I've been saying this to these brothers for years, the ones I sit behind closed doors. They totally not even prepared for the person that they have doing a kut bars and stuff. If he pass away, and who y'all think they gonna put in front of him? Who y'all think they gonna put in his place? Another person who not even prepared for leadership. People so fixated on wanting to look like the man, just like right now with the situation, by me having a 1-year plan, a 2-year plan. What if the person who's giving the kut bars gets sick? You know what I'm saying? May Allah protect them from that. What if something happens that goes on with his job? May Allah protect them from that. Are y'all prepared? Y'all not even thinking about it, but you have these vainglorious desires and dreams that Shaitan inspiring you with. Focus on the community first, man. Focus on the community first. Not all these grand aesthetics of look at us, we the Muslims. But when you come get up in our circle, we gonna call you the drug dealing, fornicating, gang banging, hating, pulling each other down. But we look good together praying in this parking lot. When we get through praying though, we finna walk into this building and drink and smoke weed and gangbang while we waiting for our customers to come through as we hustle. You see what I'm saying? That's like, you don't want to be wrapping up a nasty piece of candy in a beautiful wrapper, bruh. Man, let's get together and stand firm, man, so the whole world can see us. But then when they get close enough to us, if they have enough sense, they gonna sit up and be like, See, and this is where it come in as a part is you, and this is also in my cookbook, and I'm gonna get this jewel, man. You don't want to become delusional. You don't want to become delusional. I know brothers, man, that I grew up with that, you know, unfortunately, man, they end up incarcerated. But I've been knowing them. They've been Muslim since they was a kid. And, you know, when people be like, yeah, man, you know, such and such man called me, man, he going to Jumu'ah. He fasting. Ramadan, he all on his deen and all this other stuff. And I sit down and I'm able to say, no, he not. No, he not. And then when he come home, don't touch no masjid, throw away his prayer rug and Quran, he back in the streets. And then you be so baffled. Brothers sitting up elevating people to pedestals that they don't belong on. Oh man, when I was in jail with this brother, man, he was the best brother, man, he was so cold. But see, other people could have sit around and said, no, he not. Man ain't even touched the streets. And he already back in the dunya. But see, some people not able to see that because of what they tell themselves about other people. You know what I'm saying? You don't, even people who slip in the deen, it don't happen overnight. If your deen was really like that. But see, that's the problem, man. A lot of people deen don't really be like that. They just able to fool the ignorant. See? And then sometimes people presence is a threat. A person might come to your masjid and listen to a khutbah and sit up and say, man, this brother just lied to them. This brother totally tore that hadith up and twisted it, and now he's going to corrupt these Muslims. Prime example. We're in a masjid and the imam stands up and say, well, the hafid, he sit up and say, Shaitan, you don't have to worry about Shaitan nowhere else on earth except for in the masjid. Because the masjid is Sirat al-Mustaqim, and this is where Shaitan said he's going to lay in wait. So outside of the masjid, at home, on the streets, you don't have to worry about Shaitan at all. because Shaitan lives in the masjid. The masjid is the house of Shaitan. Now, by me knowing what Sirato Mustaqim is, I'm able to sit up and say, wow. But I'm looking at brothers in the front like they eating it up. But I can also see the other people who were sitting around like shaking their head. So when this conversation came out, some of the brothers who feel like they the most top-notch people in the community because they've been around for 20 years, they was like, oh, well, I just felt like it mean it. And you don't, that's because you don't know what Sirato Mustaqim is. You don't have an understanding of what Sirato Mustaqim is, and that's why that made sense to you. And all I'm saying, man, and I'm advising the people, man, because Allah is watching and the angels is writing it down. You understand? You don't want to be that exact same thing. Y'all don't want to be advising and forcing something on the people that y'all not going to do yourselves. Anytime when they put me, or if I was in a position where I'm teaching or where we doing something together, even if I took the class 10 times, 20 times, even if I taught it 10 times, 20 times other people, I still do it with them. I still do it with them. And then I make it easy on the people. So again, man, I'm advising these brothers, man, to come up with some ideas for a conference. Y'all three, you know, y'all the three amigos. Each one of y'all pick a topic and sit there and talk. Because I know once they pick that topic, they got to go do the research. They're going to have to do it on the internet. But hopefully they'll see something that'll spark something in their head to sit down and say, I need to get it together. I need to get it together. Because I'm telling you, man, Shaitan hear your du'as too. And when you in a situation, man, that's unfavorable, and you told yourself, Allah answer my du'as, but then go rethink about what your du'a was. And you'll realize, no, this ain't what I asked for. This not what I asked for. Then you're going to know. And then when you look at it real thoroughly, you can sit down and say, man, I might be up under the punishment of Allah. So I just wanted to get on for a second, man, and advise them brothers, man. Don't be what y'all just left, bruh. Get it together, man. Take this serious because your Jannah depends on it, man. You playing with fire, bruh. To play with this deen is to play with Allah Azza wa Jal. And you're not going to win even if it look like you're winning to some people that don't know no better. Because that's going to make your situation even worse. Because getting over and duping people that don't know any better, just imagine the weight of that. You're supposed to uplift the ignorance from the people, not take advantage of their ignorance, man. It's a sticky situation, man. This is not no game, man. Islam ain't no hustle. This is not something that you play. This is not something that you play, man. But like I say, man, put y'all heads together, man. Y'all got 6 months before Ramadan come. And me being familiar with the community, once people do get the ball rolling, and Ramadan come and them other people be having them dinners up there, that free lamb and rice, them people will leave you for that rice, bruh. For that rice and lamb and chicken and pizza. They'll leave. They know that they going to get that envelope at the end of Ramadan. They'll abandon you for the envelope, bro. I've done seen it numerous times, every year, that I done dealt with the community. Them people up there, man, with that big building and they got that little money, and you know they up there promoting their Range Rovers, and the people seeing all this and that, and then they start chasing that. But they doctors, they engineers, they own the corner stores, they own the chicken restaurants. You just a regular old hardhead. And now next thing you know, you trying to get Range Rovers on a whole bunch of riba and credit cards. Because you think that got something to do with, like, now you chasing a dream. You chasing that envelope and the chicken and rice, man, and they abandon you, man. So y'all better have something to offer, man. Y'all better get it together. Start doing what you done step foot in a position to be. And start doing it, man. Because Allah Azza wa Jal is watching. But Shaitan watching too. Shaitan is watching too, man. And like I always said, man, foolish is the one who pleases themselves by displeasing Allah Azza wa Jal, man. Don't let Shaitan pull the wool over your eyes, man. You know what I'm saying? A brother, man, I love the brother dearly, right? Every time I see him, he got all these grand ideas about who he gonna become and what he wanna do Islamically. You know what I'm saying? He been out of prison for 3 years. And when I sit down with him, every time I see him, I be like, hey, since you been home, man, have you read one book? Have you completed one book in Islam, even if it's 60 pages? Nah, I haven't. What you finna get up and teach the people? Here go a class. Look, come with me, bruh. You ain't got to sit in none of my classes. Look, here go a class right here. It's this, that, and the third. Oh, man, I got to figure. I don't know what I'm going to be doing next Tuesday. Basically, you saying you can't make time. But you going to be the religious leader? You're going to be these people teacher? What you going to teach them? A whole bunch of stuff that you done heard? And I'm going to be honest. And you know, from jail, he loves to quote a lot of stuff that he heard. And 9 times out of 10 it's either out of context, or it's wrong, or it's not the way that it is in the Quran and the Hadiths. You know what I'm saying? It's almost misleading. Now, being that a person who sat in classes and did these certain type of things, I'm able to understand what he's trying to say. But if I wasn't that, if it sound good, I would run around repeating it and be wrong, and having the people who listen to me running around being wrong. And then once that's set in their heart, and then a person comes show them the truth, they reject it. Nah. There's no accountability. You're just trying to down me. No. So you don't understand. You ain't out here with your boots on the ground. You don't know what it takes. How I don't know what it takes? I set up and watched the whole blueprint with Allah Azza wa Jal. I set up and watched the whole blueprint of what's failing. And I do know that Allah Azza wa Jal will replace us with people who's gonna do better. And then they could lose it, man. And then you look at society right now. Right now you got kids, man, you even got Muslim children. They don't even know how to identify themselves. I don't know if I identify as a boy. I don't know if I identify as a girl. I don't know if I'm transgender. I don't know if I'm homosexual, bisexual. They that confused. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man? Like, so you know, man, hopefully, man, this is received well. Because I'm telling you, man, Shaitan listen to du'as. And Shaitan is going to take care of their people, man. Shaitan going to take care of his people. You could just look at the kuffar. And then you could know if we not careful, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said we going to follow them people, man. You could look at some of the most top-notch preachers getting millions of dollars, and they been robbing the church the whole time. Got people chasing glitz and glams. They been raping little boys for 20 years, raping little girls for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Got 20 members of the congregation pregnant. Done prayed for 30 abortions. Married, man of the cloth. And now, unfortunately, you're starting to hear similar stories in the Islamic community. Yeah. Religious leaders. But these people who put themselves on that pedestal. You know what I'm saying? Don't be that, man. Don't be it. Don't put something on the people that you're not going to do yourself. Allah warns us of becoming that, man. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.